name is Christy, and today we're going to do some lateral movement. So that's not a lot of movement, not a common movement we do, but one we really do need to do a lot more of. So things like opening our leg to the side, abducting the hip, and also some side bending. So we'll do some things standing, we'll do some things kneeling, so feel free to grab a towel if you want extra padding, some things side lying, and a few other positions. So it'll be short and quick, and we're going to get right into it. If you have a tie, scarf, or a band that you can tie in a loop around your knees, or if you have a looped band, that's going to add more challenge, but if you don't, you're still going to get lots of work from it. So if you've got that band or scarf, just tie it around your ankles to begin. And then just stand with your feet about sunglasses width apart on the floor. And in that position, toes face forward if you can. So think about the outsides of your feet being parallel toward the sides of the room. So just lift your chest, tuck your chin, just draw your head back in space. And we're just going to start with just a little movement of our head side to side. So press your hands toward the floor and just gently side bend your left ear towards your left shoulder. And as you do that, push your right hand down, breathe in, and then back to center, breathe out. Try the other way. So big stretch of your right ear towards your right shoulder as your left hand pushes down, your chest is up, and then back to center. Nice and easy, just side bending the neck. Super simple to begin. Inhale. Actively pushing your right shoulder down as your ear goes. Exhale back to center. Please don't put your hand on your head and tug it. Just let the neck move in a range that it already has the capacity to do on its own. One more time. So press your right hand down and then come on back to center. Yeah, just like that. So now we're going to focus on just a little bit of movement of our rib cage side to side. So you can bring your arms across your chest or fingertips, temples. Try to keep your pelvis still. See if you can draw your left elbow down towards your left outer foot. Reach your right elbow to the ceiling. Try to keep your weight centered between the sides. Breathe out back to center. So easy peasy. Side bend, reach your left elbow up, right elbow down, head's back, chest is open, elbows reaching back, and exhale back to center. 2 more each way. Just easy to start. And exhale. So we're just building some awareness, warming up gently, focusing on our breathing. Inhale, side bend left. And exhale back to center. Inhale right. And center. One more time each way. So move from your rib cage. And then center, exhale. Move from the rib cage. And then back to center. Trying now to level your rib cage over your pelvis. So now keep your feet facing forward. And see if you can hover your left foot off the floor. Try to keep the left toes and knee in front of the pelvis facing forward. Now, can you do that side bend here? I want you to apply a little bit of pressure outward onto the band. Pelvis is mostly level. Could you place your right fingertips temple across your chest? And could you side bend to the left? And then center. Now, could you side bend to the right, keeping the pressure out on the band? I know it's a weird one. Exhale back. We'll do 8 each way. So try to keep that pressure out on the band, or without the band if you want. If you need a little help, you can put your foot down. Inhale, exhale back to center. Inhale, side bend. And center, exhale. Pelvis might shift a little side to side. Keep the left foot facing forward, and oops, exhale up. Couple more each way. 5 each way, actually. Keep pushing out on that left foot with your left toes facing forward. You got it. 4 more each way. Inhale. Your neck feels tight. Arms across your chest, or even hands down. Whoops, beside your hips. It's a little harder to the right, isn't it? Couple more each way. Inhale left. Center exhale. Try to keep those knees straight, especially the right. And center exhale. Is your left foot still facing forward? Means you still have pressure out on that band. You're welcome to put your foot down. Big stretch, inhale. And center exhale, 1 more time each way. Hopefully that hip is getting nice and warm. And center exhale. Oops, and there we go, relax. All right, so shake it out for a second. Turn those toes again forward. Outsides of the feet parallel once again to one another. And then when you're ready, shift your weight onto your left foot. All right, so chin is tucked, head is back, shoulders are back. Apply some pressure to the band with your right leg, but keep your toes facing forward, keep your pelvis facing forward. All right, so hold that, arms across your chest, your fingertips, temples, side bend right if you can. You can keep your eyes up at eye height, so gazing forward rather than down. Inhale. It doesn't have to be big. Exhale, center. Inhale. And center, exhale. Toes forward. Exhale. Arms across your chest if you want, up to you. Find the place that's best for you. Feel free to put your foot down for a little bit more support. Just try to keep that just gentle lift of the leg to the side, that abduction. Didn't see that. Try to edit that up. Inhale and center, exhale. Inhale left. You've got 4 more times each way. Obviously, I need to do a little more of this too. And center, exhale. Inhale and center, exhale. Couple more. You got it. Inhale and center, exhale. We'll do 2 more times each way. Hopefully both hips are feeling some warmth. It'll work. Inhale, center, exhale. 1 more time each way. And center, right leg still off. 1 more. And back to center. You got it. All right, so set your pelvis just nice and easy, side to side. All right, now step on out of the band for now, and you can just put that off to the side. All right, so now we'll take our legs wide apart, turn your toes out, and try if you can to go far wider than your pelvis. So you're moving out, depending on your height, toward the outside of your mat. Roll toward the outsides of your feet, push your knees back, and then bend your knees to lower. Just go down to a height that feels good for you. And just shift a little side to side, so just let those inner legs, those adductors open. So just nice and easy movement. Again, you're trying to roll toward the back of the foot, the pinky toe, and then push your knees back also. And if it feels too wide, just bring your feet a little closer together. Okay, so when you feel like you're ready, just gonna sink your pelvis down and just hold with your knees pushing back. We're going to try that same side bending here, fingertips, temples. We'll do 8 to the right, 8 to the left. Can you bring your right elbow towards your right thigh? Try not to let your left elbow go forward. Exhale back to center. Same side again. Inhale. So push that left knee back. It's going to try to come forward as you side bend right. 6 to go. Inhale, and again, you're side bending in toaster slot without rotation. Inhale, center, exhale. You got it. So just working on, as always, weird movement, novel movement. Challenges our brain and strengthens possibilities of movement patterns we have. Inhale, 3 more. Center, exhale as you drop your hips a little lower. Why not? 2. And exhale. Last 1. And center, exhale, hold. Now go left. Left elbow, left thigh, exhale, center, or toward. You don't have to go that far. Again, your arms can go across your chest if you want. That's better for your upper shoulders. Now, as you're side bending left, try to roll your right elbow and shoulder back. So you're not rotating forward, you're just side bending. A little deeper. You got it. 4, you're there. We're going to head down toward for now after this. 3. And back. You got it. 2. And 1 more time. And lower. Perfect. All right, back to center. And then when you're ready, just make your way down to the mat. And we're going to start by lying on our left side. So if you wanted something, a little something underneath your head, go ahead. We don't need the block or the band. And lie all the way down on your left side. And then we'll have both legs straight, if you can. And we'll continue with that idea of side bending with the legs straight, toes forward. So just start by lifting your right leg up. And I want you just to focus on hiking your right hip toward, really front of the pelvis, side of the pelvis, towards your rib cage, and then reach it away. So try that a few times. So you're going to hike that hip and then stretch it long. See how that goes. Head back. And reach. All right. So you could stick with that if you want. The next variation is more challenging. We're going to lift our bottom leg with our top leg and see if as we do that, we could bring this waist into a shortened position. So can you bring this top of the pelvis toward the top ribs, and then relax, and then lengthen, that's it. So shorten your waist in order to lift the legs, and then return. You got it. So shorten the waist to lift, and then relax. So you've got 5 more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, low. Try to have your toes, knees facing forward, both legs straight, and you're lifting and side bending. It's a small movement. You got it? So you've got 3 more here. 2. Now you can stick with that for another 8, or add your top arm, slide it down your thigh, push into your bottom arm without letting your head come forward. Lift your legs and your head and shoulders come up to balance on your bottom elbow and hip, and then return down. And the challenge is to stick in that toaster slot rather than twisting. Exhale up, let your head go, and relax. If you feel like you want to point your toes now, go ahead. Exhale, little high, and inhale. So see if you can just get your bones aligned. Think less about gripping and tightening anything. Think about keeping length in your spine and neck. Bring your head back in space so it's in line with the back of your pelvis and the backs of your heels. Last 3. Legs up. Inhale down. Last 2. And relax. Last 1. Hold. Stay. Just little pulses of your legs toward the sky. Why not? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more, 3 more, 2, and 1, and relax. All right, from there, press up to your bottom elbow, and then if you want to fold the mat, go ahead. I like a little extra padding. And we'll start with our knees bent. Have your elbows slightly outside the line of your shoulder, and then your knees back in space, so they're in line with your elbow. Okay, so when you're ready, you're going to bring this bottom shoulder up towards your ear, and then away from your ear. Bottom shoulder towards your ear, and then away from your ear. So just easy movement. So we're still doing side bending of the waist. We're just integrating the movement of the shoulders. So do 1 more of those, and then pull your bottom waist up. Try to keep that lift in the bottom waist as you lift your hips up and come into a side plank on your knees. So bring your head back, bring your pelvis forward, roll your bottom chest toward the ceiling. If you're happy here, stay. If you'd like more challenge, top leg forward, bottom leg back. Keep your back heel anchored. Head back. Now we've got 2 parts. We'll take a break between. Lower and lift your waist like we just did. But now with the hips lifted and maybe the hips and the knees. Heads back. Inhale, lower. So let that shoulder move if it's comfortable. As you lower your pelvis, your shoulder comes up towards your head. And lift the hips and the shoulder comes down. So 3 more. You're doing great. 2. And 1. And lower and release. All right, we've got 1 more set. You can stay on your elbow or press up to your hand. You choose whichever option is best for you. So if you're on your hand, turn your arm bone out so that your wrist is aligned, your wrist crease is aligned with the top of your mat, and that inner eye of the elbow is rotated outward. Press up onto your knees, draw your head back in space. This is a different option, so you can stay on your knees, or once again, top leg forward, bottom leg back. Bring your bottom chest toward the ceiling. Push into your bottom leg, and then just see if you could maybe lift and lower your top leg 8 times. That's it. 7, 6. Can you keep that top of the pelvis facing forward, like we focused on that square pelvis when we were standing? 4 more. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. Now lower all the way down, and see if you can bend your knees and take your feet around to the right. So mermaid position. You've been here before. You've done my videos. Lift your left arm, big breath. And then side bend right, and then just return center. We'll do that same side for 8. Big stretch. Great, big breath, big side bend, and exhale. So head back, chest up. Good time to close the eyes. Just feel the movement and focus on your breathing. Inhale right, exhale center. And do one more time. Big breath. And back to center. You got it. So now let's come down to lie on our other side. So you can have your head down flat on the mat. You can have your head on your arm, whichever feels best to you. So legs are back in space so that your heels are in line. Backs of your heels are in line with your head and your pelvis. Top arm down your top thigh, roll your top shoulder back and down. And when you're ready, lift your top leg and then hike your top waist shorter and then a little longer. So you're going to bring that top of the pelvis towards your ribs and then reach it away. So you're effectively side bending the spine. You can stick with this or both legs together and lift them by shortening your top waist and then lengthen your waist or return it to neutral as you lower your legs. So exhale as you lift and inhale as you lower. You can always have your hand on the floor if you need. Feel free to point. Whatever feels good for your bodies. Keep those toes and knees and front of your pelvis facing forward. So bring that top of the pelvis up towards your bottom ribs and relax. So 3 more here, and then we've got that option to side bend with the top arm down. 2. Last time. Closing your eyes is a little hard if you want to add that extra bit. And release. Okay, so stick with 8 more, or press into your bottom arm, lift your legs, and then hover your head, but keep the pelvis facing forward. And inhale, return down. 7 to go. So stick if you can between those 2 panes of glass in your toaster slot. Don't twist forward. And inhale. Doesn't matter how high you go, just focus on that form. Heads back, feet in line with the head. Doing great. Inhale down. We've got 3 more. And release. Back. 2 more. Exhale up. Inhale down. Last time. Up. And release all the way down. Fabulous. All right. So press on up onto your bottom elbow. Feel free to pad that mat if you'd like. So elbows outside your shoulder. We'll start with our knees stacked. Bring your knees back so they're in line with your elbow. Your elbows again outside the line of your shoulder. And now just slowly sink into that bottom arm and let your bottom shoulder come up towards your head as you lengthen your waist. And then lift your waist away from the floor and let your head drop. So you're starting with that gentle side bending of the spine and integrating that with the shoulder girdle. So shoulder, right shoulder comes up, right shoulder moves down. Hold your neck though. All right, 1 more just like that. And you want to make sure that right elbow is outside your right shoulder so that it's got support and it's in a strong position once we come up. Now see if you can come up onto your knees, keeping the bottom waist engaged. Head back, hips forward, stay there. Or straighten your legs with the top leg forward, bottom leg back. All right, let's try the lower and the lift of the hips. Inhale, they go down, and exhale, they come up. So again, can you move the bottom shoulder a bit? I know it's tough here, but we want to get that length through the bottom waist, through the lats, and then the contraction through those side trunk muscles to lift you back up. And you do this without rotating. 4 more. We'll take a little break and switch. Inhale down, exhale up. Last 2. And lower all the way down. Now second set you can do again with your elbow if you'd like, or up onto your hand. Whatever feels better for you. If you're on your hand, then just turn your arm bone outward. Your wrist crease should be parallel to the top end of that mat. And then you're rolling that inner eye of the elbow and the center of the bicep toward that same side of the room. All right. So then press up either onto your knees, and you'll, in the knee position or feet, in the knee position you'll lift and lower your top leg, or both legs are straight, roll your bottom chest up, heads back, and then see if you can push into your bottom foot as you lift and lower that top leg. Exhale up, 7 to go. 6, you're doing great. 5, 4, 3, keep that top of the pelvis forward, 2, and 1, and done. Back. Lower all the way down. If you're comfortable, take the legs around to the left. Lift your right arm up. Side bend to your left. Exhale. And then return center and inhale. Exhale. And back up and down. You're doing great. A couple more. Breathe out. Feel free to close your eyes. And just focus on feeding the right side of your ribs if you're side bending left with your breath. 2 more. And 1 more time. And then return to center. Okay, so now we're going to come up to hands and knees. I'll turn sideways. And as we come up to hands and knees, feel free to be up on your knuckles if you want. I want you to focus on the sides of your waist being long. So think about lengthening your back, trying not to round it if you can. Tuck your chin and lengthen the back of your neck. And then we're going to focus on just that lengthening through the waist. See if you can wag your tailbone, if you have a tail, to the right. So bring your right hip towards your right ribs. Look over your shoulder. Can you do that without shifting your pelvis to the left? And then back to center, breathe out. Other way. Look over your left shoulder, wag your tail left. And then center and exhale. A couple of those each way. Inhale, side bend, center, exhale. So just side bending the spine if you can, but without shifting the weight off of center. And then center, exhale. 1 more time. And then back to center. Okay, so now we're going to see if we can do that movement in a more challenging position. So you come down to your elbows, walk your knees back, make sure your elbows are in front of your shoulders, and curl your pubic bone towards your chest so that your lower back is long and those core muscles are bracing. Head is lifted, make sure it doesn't drop. And then you can stay on your knees. We'll try that first. Lift your right knee and see if you can draw it up towards your right elbow by shortening your waist. And then reach it back. Same side again. Now you can stay with that, or with straight legs, draw your right elbow up towards your right knee, towards your right elbow. You can look over your shoulder if you want. And our goal is to side bend the spine without dropping the pelvis. Hopefully I wasn't doing that. You don't have to touch it. 3, just get that gentle motion. 2, you can use your back foot to help. And 1, you got it. So just relax for a second. Feel free to push back into a little child's pose. Take a breath. Moving slowly and precisely, let's go to the other side. 10 total. So you can start on your elbows and knees, or pop right up to your toes. Now, prevent the pelvis from dropping. Lift your left knee and drop towards your left elbow. Look over your shoulder if you want, and then back. Side bend. Exhale. 9 to go. That right leg is active if it's straight. 5. How you doing? Almost there. 4. Remember the knee option if you want. Knees down. 3. 2. And 1, and relax. Just sit back into a yummy little child's pose if you want. If that feels okay, just settle your hips down, or hands and knees and round your back, wherever feels good. You can even bring your hands underneath your forehead. If you'd like, just take a couple deep breaths. All right, almost there. Come on back up to your knees. Feel free now to get a little towel to put underneath them if you want some more support. And you're just going to be, you can kind of be toward the front of your mat if you want. And we're going to play with putting together that side bending and a leg lift. Just a few. See how it goes. So shoulders back, head back. First we'll balance. So see if you can shift your weight to your left knee. Maybe unweight or float your right. Maybe lift it to the side, and then put it down. Let's try a few of those. I'm just going to do a little. So, shift your weight to your left. See if you can lift that right leg a touch, and then put it down. So, you can start to lean a bit more, hinging on that side of the pelvis, hip, if you want more challenge. Up to you. So, just go as slowly as you can. You need to go a little quicker. To get back control, go ahead. You're just playing with it for another 4. If it goes your knee, then you could try the standing. Just lifting and lowering your right side. Just building that stability around the left hip joint. There's a little trunk work here too. Okay, now this time just lift your right leg take it off to the side, right toes forward. Now your arms could stay across your chest, or you could take your fingertips, temples, or even arms overhead for the most challenge. Now this time, can you lengthen your spine to the left, lean left, and try lifting your right leg off the floor. And then come on back up. Try that, we'll do 8 of those. So lengthen left, brace your core, again, arms overhead, more challenge. Lift that right leg, lower it, and back upright. You got it. Lengthen, inhale, brace, head back, float, and lower. Bottom hip should be getting some nice work here also. Lengthen and float, and return. Lengthen and float, and return. You got it. About 3 more. 2 more. Lengthen, float, baby, and up. So we're going to hold the float when you put your left hand on the floor, just outside your shoulder. Feel free to come up to your knuckles. Roll your right shoulder back. You got it. Now hold and breathe. Stay. You can stay here. Can you shift your weight off your left hand a bit? There's less pressure on it, more work in the hips. And top leg just forward and back a few times. Side kick. Inhale forward, point your toes, and exhale reach back. Just 8. And you've got that other side with a little stretch in the middle. You're doing great. Inhale forward, reach back and exhale. Trying to keep that weight a little if you can off of your left hand. What are those side hips doing? And exhale, reach back. Last 3. Reach. You go a little higher still. 1 more time. Now place your right foot down, keep it straight, toes forward, right arm up and over your head, big side bend. And then this time as you're side bending left, add a little rotation. Rolling your chest a bit toward the floor, chest a bit toward the ceiling. Stretch long through your right arm. You got it. And then just see if you can slowly come up, bend your right knee, and then reverse out of it the same way that you went in. There you go. Okay, so right knee down, head's back, almost there. So shoulders are back. We're just going to try that bit of stability. Try to keep, if you can, the front of your pelvis open, so it's not creasing back. And lean a little as you float your left leg, or just stay upright. It's another option, and lower. So you can also just kind of stay mostly upright without the lean, and just abduct that left leg. So I'm lifting my left foot also, rather than just turning the knee out. You could try a little lean and back. Just playing with that movement, noticing the differences between our sides. Just take your time, have fun. 4 more so. Can you just navigate that movement, what we call the frontal plane, the side to side, without moving into a different plane, transverse plane, rotation, or the sagittal plane, which is the forward and back. So you're trying to stay in the toaster slot. All right? So now, lift your left leg, take it off to the left, toes face forward, head's back, pelvis is square. Make sure that left toes are facing forward. That's going to help the pelvis to stay square. And then just lean a little to the right, lengthen your bottom waist, brace your core, head back. Can you float your left foot for a second? And then come on back upright. Maybe fingertips, temples, more challenge, or feel free to go all the way into arms overhead for the most challenge. Up to you. Lengthen your bottom arm a little more than the top in order to get that space in your bottom waist. You're doing great. 5 to go. You got it? 4. Lengthen, lean, float. 2 more. Lengthen, lean, float. 1 more time. Push those boundaries. All right, now this time we'll sky side bend and take our right hand all the way down to the floor. Roll your top shoulder back, bottom chest up. And then can you bring your top leg up, shift your weight off your right hand, hold and breathe, roll your top shoulder down. Let's take that leg forward and back, just 8. You got it. Inhale forward. And reach point, exhale back. Inhale forward. And then exhale, big stretch back. Flex inhale as you go forward. Try to keep that weight off the right hand. And if you can, head and shoulders slow. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Last 3. Last 2. And 1. Place your foot down, take your top arm up and over your head, and then just roll your rib cage a little forward and a little back. Chest is forward, chest back. You got it. One more time each way. And then when you're ready, relax. Just come down to sit. All the work is done. A little release for our neck, just like we started, but now you'll be in a seated position. Feel free to sit on a pillow or up on a chair. Now have your ankles crossed if you'd like, or legs in front of you. And then in that position, just sit tall, roll your shoulders back. Press the palms of your hands toward the floor, and then anchor those hands downward. As you roll your right ear, just gently tip it towards your right shoulder. Push your left hand toward the floor, and roll that left shoulder back, and then return to center and breathe out. Go the other way, so push your right hand down, and just tip your head to the left. So left ear toward left shoulder, and then back and breathe out. Nice and easy. Inhale, side bend right. Let that breath start to move now just through your nose. See if you can stop the breath through the mouth. Really, when we're not under stress, we should be doing our breathing through our nose, as long as you're not congested. Adding a little movement through the spine. Big breath, lift your right arm, side bend to your left, push your right hip down, and then exhale, center. Try the other way. Easy peasy. Left arm up, and then center, exhale. Push your right hip down as you side bend left, and push your left hip down as you side bend right. One more time each way, and you're all done. And when you're ready, return to center. Great work. Have a fabulous day. If you have any questions, you can find me on Facebook or on Instagram at Christy Afield. Thanks.